What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily. Obviously, I'm not in my usual studio at a family member-in-law's house. I had a little Christmas party, and so that's why we're in this location. And but anyways, with that said, got a couple, really one news story, and then a bunch of questions. The news story is more of an update from some information we talked about yesterday about the Oppo Find N, which is the newest foldable that will potentially go in some length that, for me anyway, one of the things is kind of a turnoff, and we'll get into that. So with that said, let's jump into today's tech news. So this information is coming from EV-Leaks, and EV-Leaks is saying that he's found some Oppo N details, and when we look through these, it shows the official specs on here, and a lot of it is written in Chinese, so some of it I had to translate, but basically we're still seeing that up to 120 hertz LTPO display on the big display. It's going to have 800 nits of brightness, so it's going to be pretty bright on there. 7.1 inch display. There was rumors it was going to be like 8.1 or 8 inches. Doesn't look like that's going to come true. It looks like it's going to be smaller, at least when you open it up completely on that big display, versus Galaxy Z Fold 3 has a 7.6 inch display. So for me, a little bit disappointing on that regard. When I continue to go through these, I can see that basically some of these specs, again, most of it is written in Chinese, but it's nothing too major in terms of stuff that you're really going to buy for the phone. It's more just some display specs. And then when we get to the last page, though, and some software stuff as well, like saying you can use 2 fingers to navigate through the operating system. But basically, it's going to come with 8 gigs of RAM or 256 gigs of storage, or 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. So not an amazingly huge phone like I had wished and expected in a way, just because of initial information that was coming out. So a little bit of a disappointment in that regard, but still, it's nice to see that, you know, there's more foldables coming to the market, which in turn is going to reduce the cost of all foldables, especially on the Samsung side, because they're gonna have so much competition from here on out. With that said, let's jump into the Q&A portion of the video. But before we do, I'm all over the place. Your question of the day is, what do you think is going to be the most exciting foldable phone in 2022? Put it in the comments down below. I'll leave my question unanswered just because of the fact that, I mean, for me, obviously, it still seems like it might be the Galaxy Z Fold 4. But, you know, there's so many other companies that are probably going to release phones that, you know, maybe those will be better. So I'll leave mine open-ended, but you guys can definitely answer it. So let's jump into the Q&A portion of the video. First question comes from Brad Riggs. Hey, Greg, so I took your advice on the Galaxy Z Fold 3, and you were 100% right. I absolutely love this phone, but I'm having a problem with the YouTube app. I have my app screen settings on multi-view, and the YouTube video previews are hit and miss. Sometimes the videos are large when I open the app, other times they are small. More than that on my S21 Ultra. Look in the lab settings, and nothing I do is fixing the issue. I prefer them to be large, and I noticed I switched my screen layout to standard view. It is fixed. This is a large screen, and to have them just feel small feels wrong. Anything you know to fix it and keep my display in multi-view. As always, great video. Thank you, Greg. That's one of the things I've noticed, that with the Z Fold 3, for instance, the multi-view and the standard view, I keep mine in standard because I want huge, large text and everything to be large, so I've switched to the standard. But I understand why you'd want the multi-view, because you get more stuff on the screen. But it just messed with my keyboard as well, on my Gboard keyboard, so I went back to standard. I don't have a fixed view. I wish I did, but if anybody knows, let them know in the comments down below. Sachin Achara says, hello Greg, greetings from Nepal. S22 Ultra specs, apart from chips, is all about same. Pricing similar to, of course, S Pen you get for free. Do you think Samsung should have lower price? I think out the crap fan edition, just a waste of resources. So basically just asking me the price, should the prices be lower? I think the prices are pretty different. I think the price for the S22 Ultra, yes, should be cheaper and more in line than, say, like a like $9.99. I think it should be less than an iPhone, just to entice iPhone users to potentially switch over. King Adonis says nobody wants a phone anymore. You know who cares about a damn Ultra? The only phone we care about is a Galaxy Note, brah, and that's the name. Sammy's gonna leave. Is that even a question? Shajil Sazada said, are all devices that get Android 12 compatible with 12L or 12L going to be exclusive to just the Galaxy Tab? 12L should be exclusive to large screen devices. That should be tablets, should be phones, it should be Samsung devices, it should be Pixel devices, it should be a lot of devices. Shajil Sazada, do you think Samsung will ever have a trade-in yearly program where we pay $300 or $400 per year and get our flagship tab when it comes out? They do have an upgrade system. So you can check into that when you're buying the phone. They do have an upgrade system. They sometimes they have it right at launch for the phone. Sometimes it comes out a little bit later. So just check with that. But when you're on the Samsung site, they have it on there. Attention gaming. So when I turn on my brightness to max and then Netflix on the full 3 to watch a movie, and during watching, I turn it to the brightness of the movie and Netflix to max as well. The brightness of the screen is not as vivid or bright as it should be. It's like being less vivid and bright on purpose by Netflix. Do you also have this? Can you also please try on your device? So Netflix has its own brightness meter. It's on when you're watching a video. It's on the left. So if you tap the screen, you'll see a little brightness meter. You can press that up and down. That'll control the brightness on Netflix. Ask Tom says, what's up? So the Oppo looks great. Screen size increase, yes please. Camera's big plus, no S Pen. Okay, we'll give it to the Oppo for now. Question, what do you think rollables, slidables will hit the market 22-23 till the next one? Cheers, Tom. I think it's gonna be, I think you'll see slidables and rollables. I think you will see something in 2022, but I think it's going to be from like a Chinese manufacturer that no one probably buys the phone from or is awful. I think you're going to see some real competition for slidables and foldable snapping in 2023. Red Color says, random question, does the S Pen Pro magnetically attach to the back of the S7 Plus? Yes, if I remember correctly, it does. I haven't had an S7 Plus in a while, so yes, I believe it. If I remember correctly, it does, because that's how it charges, so I'm going to go with yes as the final answer. And our last question comes from Shajil Shazad. Doesn't the cover display being 60 Hertz piss you off, considering this phone is getting more expensive and considering it's not 2014 anymore? So that's one of the things with the the new Oppo Find N, which is talking about that outside display 60 Hertz. Yes, it's a bit of a disappointment, but the price is supposed to be actually lower than $2,000. I've heard Ice Universe talk about it, saying that it's probably going to be lower than what we've seen on there thus far. So thanks for your questions. If you have a question, leave it in the comments down below. I'll be back to the studio tomorrow. Everything will look normal, good lighting, good cameras, everything. We'll see you down the road. Peace.